A great big phony!
Alright, let's take a couple of seconds to talk about 65 right here. Because it seems to me like it's getting a lot of hate, and I can only speak for myself here, but, you know, I didn't hate it. Was it amazing?
No.
Did it fulfill its potential?
No.
Does that make it a bad movie?
No.
So I was looking forward to this one because, you know, apart from Jurassic Park, there aren't many movies that use dinosaurs as a horror movie device, but Jurassic Park this is not. And nor should it be compared to Jurassic Park. I didn't really feel that this was a dinosaur movie at all. Like, the dinosaurs were just kind of part of, like, a large part, sure, of the impossibly dangerous environment that they were trying to build here. But you know what? That's what they did wrong with Dominion as well. They made it into a kidnap movie that just happened to have dinosaurs in it. But I really don't get some of my admittedly favorite reviewers' points of view on this one.
So 65 is a boring slog of an action.
65 million years. It's about how long it took this movie to get interesting.
And admittedly, there were some strange decisions they made while making this movie that just really complexed me. Example. I really thought that rule number one of this movie would be keep the dinosaur fans happy. You know, give us some good dinosaur action, and a large segment of the people who choose to go and see a movie like this will be happy.
But no.
But let me come back to that, because I want to start off by talking about the first thing that surprised me, and that was the fact that there was no time travel in this at all. So this here title from the trailer, kind of a lie. So it turns out that Adam Baby Driver isn't a future human who's come back from the future, as I assumed it would be.
A great big phony!
It turns out he's actually an alien from a planet called Somaris, or Somaris, for you pronunciation police out there. Just trying to cover all the bases here, you know. He's basically a space trucker who takes a job shipping colonists to somewhere to get money for his sick daughter, but he crashes. So his ship is split in half, and he and this little girl have to travel up this mountain to get to an escape pod on the other part of the ship. Now, that's essentially it for the plot. There really isn't more to it than that. For me, that's not a problem. You know, some of the best movies I can think of have relatively simple concepts. Aliens, for example. Marines go to rescue colonists, aliens there, you know, carnage ensues. Amazing movie. And they do a great job of getting across the feeling that this Earth is dangerous. You know, you put a foot wrong, you sprain your ankle, you're gonna die. There's this one part where they're sheltering behind this rock, and there happens to be these quite bright orange flowers there. Just something I noticed. And I was thinking, those flowers could kill you. Are they gonna spray some lethal pollen up in his face? Have him clawing at his chest to try and get his sci-fi inhaler before his eyeballs pop out because he's just swelling up like a f***ing balloon? They didn't. You know, they were just there for decoration. They look nice. You might think that you found a nice, safe cave to sleep in, but as we see, it's not always the case. When this giant centipede type thing lodges itself in the girl's throat, he gets stuck in a sand pit at one point. They rescue a little baby dinosaur from a tar pit, only to have it ripped to shreds by some other dinosaurs. I can't even remember what they were. But there's something about this whole journey, as perilous as it is, that just is a little bit lacking in tension. It's just a little bit joyless. I don't know. And now I've got to talk about the dinosaurs because, where to start? There's a couple of T-Rexes in there for sure. Raptor of some kind. Did I see an Oviraptor? There's a sea snakey type thing, and cue the comments, you know, actually that sea snake thing was probably... Whatever. This movie, it doesn't really apply. Because there's also Dogosaurus Rex here, and what the fuck is that Asaurus? Just why? Are real dinosaurs not scary enough? And so, with one fell swoop, they've pissed off all the dino fans. And just based on a couple of quick Googles, there were plenty of dinosaurs for them to choose from. Triceratops was apparently alive. Of course, T-Rex was alive at that time. But my guess would be that the filmmakers are like, well, how many times have we seen all of those guys? Let's do something new. Maybe there are creatures we haven't discovered yet. Maybe there are species that just got vaporized and didn't get fossilized in the first place. Now, all of this said about the dinosaurs, I can still kind of let it slide. It didn't ruin my enjoyment of this movie at all. Like, just treat it like a creature feature movie. What I can't let slide, they've wasted the entire concept. The entire concept was technologically advanced human versus big off dinosaurs. But he doesn't even really have that much technology. He's got a gun, it's a cool gun, and he's got a few grenades. They're cool grenades. He's got a little bottle that tells him if water's safe to drink. So my hopes and dreams of seeing a power loader fighting a T-Rex, no, that's down the toilet. I guess the concern is if you give him too much technology, you remove the threat. But honestly, I didn't really feel like there was much chance of these guys dying anyway. Dad, what's the weather doing today? Let's see. I would say dress for disaster, so lots of layers of plot armor. Can't find my plot armor in the cupboard! I just feel like they could have been way more inventive with this situation. One thing I see a lot of people saying that I don't agree with is that it was boring. I didn't find it boring. Slow in some places, perhaps, but just just more of the type of movie that you'd watch on a Sunday afternoon. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There were parts that were odd. Like at one point they fell down this hole, they were trying to get out of this cave, he threw some grenades into a little tunnel and blew a hole for the girl to crawl out. Then the whole thing collapsed and he thought she was crushed. But it cuts and you see her coming out of the other end of a hole out on the outside. So she's fine. And then he just appears. So I don't know if it was just that he couldn't get out with the girl and that now she had found a way out, he could just climb out. But I don't know, that just struck me as not quite right. The whole bit on planet Samaris at the beginning, where you get to meet his family and his sick daughter, just felt kind of awkward and stunted and not quite natural. There was something strange about that. Another thing I thought was kind of odd was the fact that they just happened to turn up as that asteroid was nearing Earth. I thought they were going to make a feature of it, like they accidentally nudged the asteroid on the way in and that is what pushed it towards Earth. But I don't think that's what they went for. I also wondered if they would choose to go the way of like maybe some of the people in the ship managed to survive, which would then populate the Earth from there. But again, unless I missed something, I don't think that's the way they went. Regardless, either of those things would have made this film a bit more meaningful to us now, and therefore more interesting. But as it stood, it was just like, okay, aliens visited, and then they left. Asteroid hits, removes all evidence of their visit. Alright, okay, great. One thing I'm glad that they didn't do was make it so that it was a big reveal of Earth. The Planet of the Apes twist at the end is so well known that you would have smelled that coming a mile off, so you might as well put it up front and center. Big title screen, big arrow, this is Earth. Okay guys, I'm going to leave that there because I'm working on some more Transformers stuff that will be hurled at your eyeballs as soon as I possibly can. In the meantime, I'm really curious to hear what everybody else thought of 65. And tell me, if you could create your own species, what would it be and why? Mine would probably be like a human-sized penguin that when you poke their belly, it squeaks like a dog toy. They communicate with each other by like running at each other and hitting their bellies together. That's the kind of world I want to live in. One day.